Shaykh Ahmad Ibn Ajiba, radiallahu anhu arda. This was a great Moroccan scholar who lived in the 1800s. And he was a Maliki scholar. And he came from a very wealthy family. And he talks about himself. He says, I had mastered all of the outer sciences. And one day he goes, visits one of his friends. And his friend has a book there. It's the Hikam of Ibn Ata'illah. Pearls of wisdom from Ibn Ata'illah, radiallahu anhu arda. Ahmad Ibn Ajiba, he picks up that book and he starts reading it. And he says, what is this? This is a knowledge I don't know anything about. I want to find out, like, what are these spiritual realities that Ibn Ata'illah is discussing in the Hikam? So what does he do? He attaches himself to a Shaykh. Initially he goes, that Shaykh is Shaykh al-Darqawi, but Shaykh al-Darqawi had also someone that he had processed through this process of tarbiyah, of spiritual growth. And Shaykh Ahmad Ibn Ajiba attaches himself to subhanallah, al-Buzidi, Imam al-Buzidi. And Shaykh Ahmad Ibn Ajiba, he talks about the different things that his Shaykh made him do. And these are very interesting things. Sometimes we may hear this and be like, wow, that's too much. How did he do that? But he wanted him to constantly grow. And so what he saw in Shaykh Ahmad Ibn Ajiba was he saw in him the arrogance of a learned scholar. And Shaykh Ahmad Ibn Ajiba, radiallahu anhu arda, himself talks about this. You know, sometimes we learn knowledge and we become so boastful with this knowledge that we have. But in reality, what is knowledge supposed to do? It's supposed to humble us. Because who was the most knowledgeable of all creation? Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alih. But that knowledge that he had of Allah Azza wa Jal didn't make him arrogant. It made him a abd, a servant to Allah. And so Imam al-Buzidi, radiallahu anhu arda, he makes Sidi Ahmad ibn Ajiba take on certain actions to remove what he saw of that arrogance in his heart. Imam Ibn Ajiba used to dress in very fine clothing. Imam al-Buzidi said, no, I want you to lower the quality. He says, then what I want you to do, I want you to walk around the streets of Fez. They were in Fez. And you're this great alim, you're this great scholar. Well, you know what I want you to do? I want you to just be a man who goes serving people water. Now, people knew Sidi Ahmad ibn Ajiba as this great alim, and he knew of himself as this great alim, and now people are seeing him walking around the streets as a khadim, as a servant. And they're all staring at him. You can imagine, they're talking, and Sidi Ahmad ibn Ajiba has to deal with his maqam that he saw way up here, dropping down in people's eyes. But Imam al-Buzidi wanted the ego to be killed. The ego that's the greatest roadblock between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he continues, he doesn't stop there. He says, at the end of the night, I want you to go around and collect all the trash, collect all the garbage, put it on your back, all these garbage bags, and take it to the dumpsters. Sidi Ahmad ibn Ajiba is like, I'm a alim. I'm a scholar. I have all these sciences. I know the different qira'at. I know the different mutun. I know the different books of fiqh. I know the different books of hadith. I've memorized them, and you're making me do this? That wasn't his response. Because he saw who Imam al-Buzidi was and who Shaykh al-Darqawi were, and he was as well, and he wanted what they had. So he would go and he would carry that trash. He humbled himself. And that process transformed Sidi Ahmad ibn Ajiba radiallahu anhu wa arda into one of the greatest spiritual saintly scholars that we have ever come across in our time.